Hey, come see us live. We're doing our Rumble Time show September 27th in Los Angeles. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona, and we'll be in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. When Trump got elected, when Brexit happened, the deep state, which doesn't work for the president, we know that because of what Chuck Schumer told Rachel Maddow. He said Donald Trump's being really dumb to
6 days from Sunday
to mess around with to insult the CIA because they've got 6 ways to Sunday to get back at you, and so he's being really dumb to get on the wrong side of the CIA. Well, the next follow-up question to that should have been, well, I thought that the CIA works for the president. You're telling me they don't, that they're a rogue organization. So who do they work for? So that's the real question, but which is I want to pose to you in a second, but I want to get to my point of they, meaning the billionaire class that the CIA actually works for. They could not allow Donald Trump or a populist to be elected ever again. That's why they Russiagated. That's why they Russiagated Bernie Sanders. Yeah. And then he Russiagated himself because he's such a cuck, and they didn't have to do anything to him, and then then they started instituting all this censorship, right? And the censorship is to make sure that they can control the narrative, because if they can't control the narrative, then actual democracy might happen, and they can't afford to have actual democracy happen because you have things like Brexit and Donald Trump's election, and maybe even someone like Bernie Sanders, or someone even worse, someone who actually means what they say, unlike Bernie Sanders. So that's
yeah.
Go ahead. That's where the censorship really started, right?
That's exactly it. In fact, I've done several lecture series on the early 2017 formation of the censorship industry in America. And in one of those lectures, I go through this meeting in early 2017 by one of the administrators of the National Endowment for Democracy, which, if folks are not familiar, is our premier CIA cutout.
Yes.
This was literally an organization formed in 1983 in a letter from the CIA director, William Casey at the time, to the then Attorney General when the Reagan administration, the Republican Reagan administration, was complaining about the powers that the CIA had lost under Jimmy Carter and after the Church Committee hearings in the late 1970s, and that they wanted to get those CIA powers back, but were not able to get it through the Democrat Congress. And so they could establish, instead of having the CIA do it, a nonprofit NGO, which happens to be funded by the government and back-channeled by the government and accountable to congressional committees, but technically it's a private NGO, and we'll call it the National Endowment for Democracy, and it will do what we don't have the political power to do directly, and we'll simply back-channel with them. Now, so that National Endowment for Democracy has 4 different cores, but it's got 2 political spindle groups. One of them is for Democrats, one of them is for Republicans. To answer the first question is who does the CIA serve? You can simply look at the board of directors of the National Endowment for Democracy. It is the big corporations and big multinational corporations and big banks. On the board of it are the representatives from everything from McDonald's to Walmart to Microsoft to ExxonMobil. They represent the college of corporations and financial firms who are the beneficiaries of U.S. foreign policy action. Every multinational company depends on the U.S. State Department. It depends on the Pentagon, depends on our intelligence services to work as this trifecta in order to pry open markets for their goods and services, in order to influence the course of legislation in foreign countries, to either get bills passed or to kill bills that might threaten that college of corporations' profits. I experienced this myself when I was at the State Department, and I got calls from Google lobbyists about what the State Department needs to do in upcoming negotiations to protect Google, our U.S. national champion in the IT sector. But so they all have a vested interest in putting favors in the favors bank for the U.S. government and providing co-sponsor funds to taxpayer allocations in order to overthrow countries, in order to meddle in foreign elections, in order to pump up different interest groups or lobbying groups within foreign countries. And so that is who the CIA serves. That is who the State Department serves. That is who the Pentagon serves. But there is this negotiation, and this is often the role of donors and these large oligarchs, is that they will make these large campaign contributions. They will provide this sort of, war chest for the president. The president will then staff the CIA. We'll staff the State Department. We'll staff the Pentagon with the people the oligarchs paid for with their donor dollars. And then the CIA and the State Department and DOD will go out and inflict damage on whoever happens to stand in the way of those corporations and banks, and that's what we just call American foreign policy for democracy.
Hey, come see us live. We're doing our Rumble Time show September 27th in Los Angeles. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona, and we'll be in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.